I got a job as a babysitter for an insufferable millionaire's child. 40 nannies ran away from him in just a month, and his wife mysteriously disappeared earlier.
Looks like the agency is doing really bad, since they sent me this.
Even the wolves in the forest seemed kinder than Peter Chester. The mansion was just like its owner. Gloomy and unfriendly. While I was looking around, Peter threw a terrible hoodie at me.
Change your clothes. You're not in a brothel. If it wasn't for my urgent business, I would never let you near my daughter.
I imagined my life in that crypt with horror. But I had no choice. I urgently needed money. I was placed in a girl's room. It was like a prison. Maybe we can make the walls lighter. Peter was against it, but Emma started begging him and...
I'll choose the color. You have no taste at all.
I painted the walls under Peter's strict supervision, and his cold look made me spill the paint.
You're so feeble. I'll show you how to do it.
Peter grabbed a paint roller, and our fingers touched. Suddenly, paint splattered on his suit. However, Emma laughed, and he suddenly smiled. I thought about that moment the whole night. Yet, my thoughts were interrupted by a knock on the window. Someone was breaking into the room. It was my boyfriend Richie, all bruised and scratched.
Babe, I urgently need money. Otherwise, I'm dead.
I'll only get my paycheck at the end of the month.
Then steal something. The millionaire won't even notice.
I had doubts, but the life of a loved one was more important than morality. After all, I got a job there to save him from the collectors. I snuck into Peter's bedroom, but when I opened the closet, I got numb. There was a creepy altar with a picture of a woman inside. And next to it, a lock of hair, a gold necklace, and a gun. So that's how his wife disappeared. He was the one who got rid of her. I was scared to death when all of a sudden, Peter called me.
Wait, stay with me.
Luckily, he was just talking in his sleep. I grabbed the necklace and immediately ran out of there. Back in my room, I told Richie everything, but he didn't take me seriously.
Have you seen yourself in the mirror? Why would he need a mouse like you?
I'm not staying another second with this crazy man. Richie promised to wait for me in the car and left with the necklace. I quickly packed my suitcase and was already on the threshold when Emma coughed. The kid was drenched. She had a fever. Go without me. Risking my life, I went back to Peter's bedroom. Emma's illness scared him a lot, and we went straight to the hospital. On the way there, he kept repeating that he wouldn't let that happen again. Unexpectedly, the car stalled in the middle of the forest. Peter tried to call for help, but there was no reception on the road. Don't worry, my father was an auto mechanic. A strong wind was blowing. My fingers were icy, yet I was not giving up. Peter came closer and gave me his card again. Everything was so strange. I was both frightened and attracted to him. Luckily, the roar of the engine interrupted the awkwardness. At the hospital, the doctor gave Emma first aid, and she felt better. Out of happiness, Peter hugged me. I shuddered. Maybe he was being kind because he chose me to be his next victim. Although his hug was so warm that I couldn't resist.
The doctor said Emma should stay at the hospital till morning. We are far from home. Let's find a hotel.
I was afraid to be alone with him, but at the same time, I wanted it. There was only one hotel room available, so we had to spend the night together. Peter noticed that I was scared of him and decided to reveal his secret.
I loved my wife more than life, but she left with her lover. Soon after, they died. And I hid that shame for everyone, for the sake of my daughter. I loved and hated my wife so much that I even bought myself a gun. If it wasn't for Emma, I wouldn't be here. Since then, I swore to never love again.
That explained the altar in his bedroom. Peter's icy heart was hiding a gaping wound. Suddenly, he came closer to me and whispered,
But I've been drawn to you from the very first minute. I was hiding it behind my rudeness, but I can't do it any longer.
Then he pulled me closer and kissed me. I immediately lost control and yielded to my desire. The next morning, Peter picked up Emma as I went to Richie to say I was sorry and to take back what belonged to Peter's wife. However, it wasn't Richie who opened the door, but a woman wearing my pannier and the necklace. My boyfriend showed up shortly after. His bruises had mysteriously disappeared. That's when I realized he didn't love me. He was just using me for money. You won't fool me again. When I got to the mansion, I snuck into Peter's bedroom to put the necklace back. I opened the closet, but the altar was gone. I heard footsteps behind me.
Thou the thief! You have half an hour to pack your things.
I tried to explain everything to Peter, but he didn't listen to me. Leaving the house in tears, I found an envelope with money inside. Yet, I didn't take a cent and wrote Peter a letter. When I laid eyes on you for the first time, I thought you were a snob and a bore. But behind that mask, I found a boundless tenderness. I hope you saw something more than just a thief in me. I told the truth about Richie and left for good. There was no hope that Peter would forgive me. Hiding from intrusive memories, I found a job in another city. On the day of my departure, at the station, someone called me.
I wanted to lock up my feelings again, but I couldn't. You're not a thief. You're the woman who healed my wounds, and being away from you is unbearable. I love you.
Later on, I returned to Peter's mansion, but this time as his bride, as we started a new life together. After all, love forgives everything except separation.